Our first item tonight will be to consider approval of the minutes from our last meeting. Commissioners, is there any discussion or comments on the previous meeting's minutes?
Move we approve.
Motion by Richard to approve,
I'll second.
second by Bruce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. All right, our first case tonight will be a public hearing on case number RZ 2018-004. Joseph Borges is requesting a rezone of lots 2, 3, 4, block 14 of the First Fry addition to the city of Stephenville, Erath County, Texas, from industrial to multiple family residential district, R3. Chairman.
Mr. Addison Winslow is going to present this case. He has worked on it, and he's working to be our planner, so.
All right.
Yes, so as Jim Allen said, Mr. Allen was saying, yes, so looking over this case, our current zoning is going for the property right now is industrial, and our comprehensive plan projected land use is going to be multifamily R3. He's want to change it from industrial to R3. Property is served by a 6-inch and a 12-inch water line, and it's also served by a 6-inch and 12-inch sewer line. Property lies on the corner of Walnut Street and Belknap Avenue, which are also served by the city maintaining the roads. And the existing zoning in the area is for the block it lies on is bordered to the south by City Tarleton School zoning, and to the west by industrial zoning. So this will be the first R3 zone for the block that this property lies on. Staff comments: the proposed rezone is not consistent with the 2008 comprehensive plan as that calls for R1 zoning throughout. Generally, blocks to the north and west of this property are zoned R3, while properties to the south and easternmost is zoned IND. The property on the western border is zoned industrial, but is shown to contain a home on the property, so which makes the industrial use invalid, which, as it's shown, despite the fact that this will be the first R3 zone for block 14 of the First Fry addition, the facts stated above are enough cause for staff recommendation of this rezone for industrial to R3.
All right, thank you very much, Addison.
And Mr. Borges is here if you have any questions.
I don't believe Mr. Borges is here, but there is members of the somebody help me, give me your organization. Habitat for Humanity. They're here, and that's what this property and this rezone is for the Habitat for Humanity group. So,
All right, pardon me. I'll now open the public hearing, and if there's anybody who wishes to come forward and speak in favor of this rezone, please come to the podium and state your name.
My name's Blake Thompson. I'm the Vice President for Erath County Habitat for Humanity. My residence, you need my residence?
Sure.
106 Byron Nelson, Stephenville. Also Joyce Holland's present. She's also a board member as well as Casey Cumby. He's a board member and our president-elect. And we have a contract with Joseph Borges on the property in place. It is contingent on the property being rezoned. We had requested that with our intentions to if it's approved, we would have 3 lots which we could build 3 homes on. We currently have a home that we're in the process of building right down the street that's also on Walnut. We've got a partner family that's approved. Once this build's complete, again, provided this works out, then one of these lots would be used for that family to start that home. And I would just add that I've been on the board for, I guess this is my 6th year, and one of our biggest challenges is just simply finding lots to build on. That's tough, and so, but we were fortunate to find one on Walnut, like I said, and this one, I guess in the process of that build, we recognized that this lot was for sale and got in touch with Mr. Borges. So under the terms of our contract, we asked that he apply for this rezone, and if it's approved, then we would then have 3 lots. Like I said, we could build 3 separate homes. So we just appreciate your consideration, and again, it would be if it were approved, it'd be a great benefit to the organization and in turn to the families that would ultimately own homes on those lots. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak in favor? Hearing none, is there anybody who wishes to speak in opposition to this case? Hearing none, I will now close the public hearing, and I will open this up to comments among the commissioners.
I'd like to propose 2 questions to the judge. First of all, do you feel that the proposed change would provide, first, a reasonable use of the property? And secondly, do you believe that this would also serve the best interests of the city of Coppers Cove?
Coppers Cove? Coppers Cove?
Or, I beg your pardon, Coppers Cove.
That's all right.
Come-
Days gone by. Still, I'm sorry.
Have that comment stricken from the record.
No.
They had troubles too, so.
I guess with regard to your second question, yes, and of course, I'm biased in favor of the Habitat for Humanity, but I do think it would, we've got an opportunity to put some homes there and would hope that we would improve the area with those homes and also provide some additional tax base. And then secondly, with your first question, and I believe with the question with the rezone, and I apologize, would you repeat that?
I'm asking if, would that provide a reasonable use of the property? I think you've answered that in so
All right.
many ways.
All right, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How far would you anticipate any structures on this property being built? How far from the railroad track?
We're also going through a board of adjustment that got postponed to next month, asking for a 10-foot variance off of Belknap, so that if this is Belknap and this is
Right.
Walnut, that house would be facing Belknap and the other 2 would be facing Walnut. So, I mean, they're all gonna be toward the front of the property, you've got 25-foot setback. On both
Well,
sides.
my question revolves around safety, as opposed to, the proper placement, or the proper, setback on the property. You're on the outside of a railroad curve. The railroad speed limit is 30 miles per hour. Have you ever seen the damage that a 30-mile-an-hour train can do when it comes off of the tracks? And would you want to live there?
I can't say I've personally seen the damage, and I don't know, that would be my first choice of location for a home. Of course, we wouldn't, wanna put the potential owner in danger.
Well, that would certainly be one of my primary concerns is putting someone in danger, based on the fact that a train that derails with a centrifugal force at 30 miles an hour, this being on the outside of the curve, any derailment would tend to go towards the home or any structure that's on the property. I think that it was zoned industrial properly because, at least in one regard, for safety reasons.
I'm looking at, which is not an actual aerial, I can't see where the homes are, that block, it's still within the curve, to the west of where we're looking. That'd be interesting to know where those homes are in relation to your question.
Yes, it very much would be.
Addison, can you go back 2 slides? I think the aerial shot's on there.
Sits right to the west of it. There is a house
Yeah, right
west
there.
of the lot.
That's it.
Yeah. As I can see it, this is the closest house to that piece of property, and, here, I mean, you're, what? The railroad right-of-way is 25 feet on each side of the center of the track. And railroad cars are up to 90 feet long. One car length would put that car on Walnut Street were there to be a derailment. I'm just curious as to whether this went into your consideration in looking for this particular piece of property?
You know, frankly, I don't think we probably considered it to that extent. We were probably more focused on the fact that we had a piece of property that could potentially allow 3 homes
Right.
at a price
I-
that was
And-
within a range that families could afford.
Sure, I understand, I have some friends that have roped me into participating in some Habitat for Humanity projects myself, and I can certainly understand that, but the uppermost in my mind would be the safety issue here. I mean, the chances that a train is going to derail at that particular spot are probably very small. But-
Further west is, and I can't tell the addresses on those 2 that are closest. Do those have homes on, or are they vacant? There's, vacant lots.
Oh, these, you mean?
No, go further, other side of this, yes, those.
Yeah,
Those are houses?
there is one home there.
So is that about the same
So-
distance, or is it?
Mhm.
closer?
I wasn't on the commission when that home was built.
Right. No, but I'm just trying to,
Sure.
on what you brought up.
Yeah,
Just not-
I don't think I'd wanna buy that home, quite frankly.
One thing you do have to keep in mind is that a block over on Graham Street, there is a railroad crossing. And every time I've been on Graham and there was a train coming through there, the train has slowed down tremendously. So, and it's only a block away. So I'm thinking that by the time it reaches this lot, it's going to be going pretty slow, because I can't tell you how many times I've sat there 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
So, and I have lived within 30 feet of a railroad tracks before for 3 years, and I never had a problem with it. I actually liked it, so.
Are the homes gonna be facing Walnut Street when they're built? Front
Well,
entry?
2 of them will. The one on the corner, it depends on if we get that, Board of Adjustment variance or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, it'd be nice if we could get it, but if not, then all 3 would face on Walnut.
Well, I guess maybe my thinking is that if they're facing Walnut, how much is the back going to be located toward the track area?
Well, there's gotta be
Maybe.
a 25-foot setback, right? I mean, don't we require a 25-foot, and then it's 25 feet from the railroad track already, so we're looking at 50 feet at least, which seems sufficient. Jeremy, is there any safety legal issues that you can speak to here that you know of? in terms
Not that
of-
I know, not that I'm aware of. I don't think there is. I mean, ultimately, you put it on the person buying the home, whether they feel safe next to a railroad track or not. I mean, they're meeting all the setbacks, what we ask of them. And so then it'd be up to, in my opinion, be up to that homeowner.
What about a fence on the back side?
I can't recall from the last home if it had a fence. It could. I mean, that's something we certainly could do. We would just, if we knew about it ahead of time, we could factor that into the price. But I mean, we could do that if that would ease any concerns or, but, we give the homeowner a little say in that as far as trying to get an idea of ultimately what the home may cost them. So there's typically not a lot of extra features, I guess, that go into these types of homes, but there again, if we needed to do a fence, I mean, I'm sure we could, so.
Are there any other comments? Okay, I'll close this portion of the hearing, and I will entertain a motion on case number RZ 2018-004.
I move we recommend to the city council the approval of taking blocks 2, 3, 4, 14, First Fry Edition, and change it to a multiple family residential district R3.
Second.
Motion has been made by Richard Petronis and seconded by Meta Collier to approve the change from industrial district to multiple family R3 district. Are there any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of this motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Nay.
And this case passes. Thank you very much. Our next case.
That case will be pushed to July 3rd to City Council for final approval. Just for your dates.
All right. Our next case will be a public hearing on CRP 2018-002. Applicant Steve Helm, representing HS Development Group, is requesting a replat of a 3.583 acres tract of land, being all of lots 2C1, Lot 2D1, Lot 2F, Lot 2G, Lot 3, Lot 4, Lot 5, and Lot 8, and the western portion of Lot 2E in Block 135 of the city addition to the city of Stephenville, Erath County, Texas, to Lot 5R, Block 135 of the city addition to the city of Stephenville, Erath County. Jeremy?
This case is a replat. The replat does conform with all the requirements of the city as it relates to this case, the replat of the property. So staff has recommended approval. Currently, the property it has a 6-inch sewer line on Washington and McElhaney. The property is served by a 6-inch water main from Washington and McElhaney. Ask if you'll go to the next slide. Typically, plats or replats, so you'll see the properties put together. Typically, the plats or replats are ministerial, so as long as they meet the requirements of the city and any state requirements, then we must approve. And so that's what this is, a replat of the property.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'll open the public hearing. If there is anybody who wishes to come forward and speak in favor of this replat, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and tell us.
My name is Stephen Helm. I'm co-manager of HS Development Group. My address is 3270 Sol Ross, Houston, Texas. With me today is the other co-manager of our firm, Harold Sol. We thank you, Planning and Zoning Commission, for considering our plan development request. We're proposing to bring 123 units, 314 beds of Class A student housing to the city of Stephenville and Tarleton University. I keep trying to call it Tarleton, I don't know, but Tarleton University. We're really excited about the project. We think it's going to be a great asset to both the city and the school. The last student housing property that was built here was 2013 Mustang Ranch. Quite a bit of changes have come about in the design and amenities associated with student housing. We just completed a project at the University of Houston that's an example of that. Our community will be a 5-story surface parked product with elevators. We'll have approximately 1,300 square feet of retail with a drive-through. We're talking to Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts right now, which would be a great amenity not only to the students of the property, but also to just this part of the city where most of, I think the other two retailers of that type are on the other side of the city. So our property proposes to have study rooms on floors 2 through 5. On the first floor, we'll have a bike indoor climate-controlled bike storage room with a repair bench, air compressors for the students. Our other amenities will include state-of-the-art fitness center. Interior amenities will include quartz countertops, wood faux floors, stainless steel appliances. We'll also have a resort-style pool and state-of-the-art fitness center, among other really quality amenities. So truly, it's going to be a Class A property and a great asset to the city and the school. Does anybody have any questions?
Did you bring any pictures?
If I may, if we could just focus on the replat portion of this, and when we get into the plan development, we can be very specific about the project. But so the setback, you're going to be asking questions about setback and if the requirements of the plat versus the actual development for this particular this particular item. We move to the next item, we can get a lot more in detail about the plan development, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Great. Thank you, sir. Is there anybody who wishes to speak in opposition to this replat? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and I will turn it over to the commissioners. Commissioners, do you have any comments among ourselves about this? Hearing none, I'll close this portion of the meeting, and then I will entertain a motion on this replat.
Move we recommend to the city council for the replat.
And this won't be a recommendation, this will be approval. The plats do not go to council anymore with our new subdivision. So it'll be approval.
Okay.
Approval of the replat.
We have a motion to approve the replat. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Delator. All those in favor of this approving this replat, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that passes. Thank you very much. Our next case is case number PD 2018-001. Consider a concept plan for planned development district zoning classification for lots 5R, block 135 of the city addition to the city of Stephenville, Erath County, Texas.
Mr. Helm, I apologize, I wasn't trying to be rude, I just wanted to stay on topic. Mr. Helm and Mr. Harold, I've met with them multiple times with CETA. It's a very interesting and good project for Stephenville. Just talk about the actual case, that the applicant has met the requirements of the concept plan. So a plan development, just to kind of summarize it, the process of plan development is that there are specific zoning that it's going to create. It's kind of its own, I'll say, animal for lack of a better word, but when you approve the development plans of this, you're approving the requirements of the zoning, meaning that whatever they bring to us with their plan in the development plan, that's what's going to be approved. If that building ever gets tore down, burned down, knock on wood, then the only thing that can be replaced is the same building with the same structure without approval. Any amendments to that plan have to come back to, versus a commercial development. If a bike shop was there and somebody decided they wanted to buy it and come bring something else in, they could, as long as it was a permitted use. So the plan development is very specific and is only what comes with a development plan. So the first part of a plan development is to bring a concept plan, which you guys have in your packet, and we'll see on this. It has a site plan, has the general layout, has some of the setbacks. When we come back next time, and so you're going to approve the concept plan, when they come back next time, it'll be very detailed, and I think in your packet you have what's going to be come back to you next time in the development plan. But I mean, it covers everything from landscaping to the type of material that it's built out of. So we'll get in the next, when they're ready to come back, we'll have very specifics on this plan, and that's the part that will be a public hearing and actually a rezone case at that point. So. And they're here, they can answer any questions about the development itself. You guys do have kind of the site plan, some of the amenities that's coming, the requirements for parking, so.
The
Okay.
question I have, Jeremy, is that has the site plan been reviewed by our engineers?
At this point, we haven't got into drainage or topography or anything like that. They're bringing what's required out of the plan development, which at this point is the site plan, setbacks, those types of things, the general. When they bring back, and at this point, once they kind of get a head nod from us or approval from you guys on the concept plan, they'll start, and I think they've already started working a little bit on it, actually getting more detail with the engineering plans, and that's when we'll get Public Works involved in reviewing this project. Now, I will say, to answer your question, Public Works has looked at this project a couple times, but there hasn't been anything for them to, we'll say, chime in on at this point, so.
Okay, I'm going to open a public hearing on this case to consider the concept plan. If there's anybody here who would like to come forward and speak in favor of this concept plan, please come to the podium, please. Mr. Helm, would you tell us a little bit more about what you...
Okay, there's not really much more I have to say at this point. As Jeremy mentioned, we're really in the concept phase. We've developed preliminary building elevation, which we think is pretty close to what we'll end up building, and a conceptual site plan. So, until we get approval here, we will begin to move into civil engineering, detailed landscape plans, and more detailed architectural and engineering plans.
Thank you very much. Okay. Is there anybody who wishes to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I will.
Mark, you got one over there.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I didn't want opposition, but I did want to ask a question.
Okay.
My name is Tiffany Sparks, and I'm representing my grandmother who lives at 174 South McElhaney Street, which is across the street. Which direction will this be opening onto?
Onto, what is it, Main Street?
Main Street?
Washington.
Main
Washington.
Street?
It'll open to Washington, right?
Washington's
Yes.
the main one.
Street.
Yeah.
So they will be entering from Washington Street?
Yes.
Okay, that answers my question. I was wondering if everybody knew about the intersection of McElhaney and Washington, which is very dangerous. So if it was gonna increase traffic, someone needed to be looking at that also.
Thank you very much.
Just let me clarify that, you can come on up, Mark, while you're out. If there's gonna be an entrance off of Washington for this development, they're gonna have to go through TxDOT for that permit, and we'll walk them through that process, and I'm sure they'll be aware of that. So TxDOT's gonna oversee that traffic impact off of Washington, so.
Since this is a concept, has the fire department gone through this, the 5-story, are we okay?
Good question. Yeah, and we have discussed this with the fire department. It's gonna be sprinkled, and it'll have to meet the fire code for this type of building, but that was a question, we looked at, when I got this, I looked at what we've done in the past with like the Grove, Bosque Crossing, and this was very similar, and they had to meet the fire code, which is sprinkler system, and there's a certain PSI and all that has to be, included in all that. So yes, they have looked at it, and Mr. Chu, we've discussed it. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there any anticipated conflict with this 12-unit building that is already there, that is adjacent to the property?
That will be incorporated into our master plan, so
Are you the owners of this 12-unit?
we will be, we have that under contract.
I see,
as well.
okay.
So we'll be purchasing that, we'll be connecting the
Okay.
two, we'll be upgrading those units,
Okay.
a little bit better quality, yes.
So it's essentially gonna be one project
Yes.
in total? Okay.
Okay, now is there anybody who wishes to speak in opposition to this concept plan? Hearing none, I'll close this portion of the public hearing, and I will turn it over to the commissioners. Commissioners, do you have any comments among ourselves?
I think it looks awesome. I'm really worried about traffic. I'm really worried about traffic all around, because at that point, Washington is very narrow. Behind, the road is small and narrow. You got a railroad crossing. That's a lot of people, a lot of traffic, a very narrow road.
Can I address that? Okay, so this is student housing typically, and we're right across the street from the university. So, in our other property, the city of Houston looked at this as well. The traffic generated on a daily basis by these types of properties is minimal, because the students are not leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning and going to work and coming home. They're doing their activities, whatever, all throughout the day. Because we're right across the street from the university, more than likely they will be walking to class, not using their cars. In addition, with the real importance of having a bike storage room, we're going to really encourage these kids, and we may even have some bikes ourselves that we, let them use or whatever, to cycle to class. So we believe that, if this was just a normal apartment community, yes, there would be significantly more traffic generated on a daily basis, but more likely these kids are just gonna be parking their cars there.
Which brings up the question too, which maybe TxDOT would have to deal with, but crosswalks or something. I mean, it's a very busy road. I'm picturing like students dashing across to Tarleton, like, I worry about the safety of it.
Sure, well, anything we can do to obviously address that concern, will certainly.
We can discuss between now and when they bring the development plan back, we'll have a conversation with TxDOT on what requirements they're gonna ask for, and if they can meet that requirement. So we'll address that. We'll bring it back to you next time with some kind of answer.
With you incorporating this 12-unit building into this project, you then anticipate you're gonna have egress and ingress off of McElhenney Street as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any other comments, commissioners? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to consider the concept plan for the Planned Development District zoning classification.
I make a motion that PD 2018-001 be approved.
Second.
Motion has been made by Bruce DeLater and seconded by Richard Petronis to consider the concept plan for case number PD 2018-001 Planned Development District to the city, addition to the city of Stephenville, Erath County, Texas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This motion passes by majority. Thank you very much. That ends our official meeting tonight. A motion to adjourn for into the work.